Hello, are you out there? It's Mark with Redo Over, and we are back to Stellaris 4.0, 4.2. No DLC, vanilla. We have so much stuff going on. We just completed our Federation, and a lot of stuff has popped up. And we just completed the Cybrex event chain, which is what's on the screen right now. So let's start with that, and then we're going to work through all the little pop-ups on the top. I think we even got a new trait for Maroon and Joan. Awesome. So, the Cybrex Central Nexus. It would seem that the Cybrex reevaluated their galactic crusade against organic life at some point during the 17th year. Whether this change was prompted by the losses on the battlefield or an ideological shift in their networked consensus, we may never know. But for whatever reason, the Cybrex decided to halt their campaign. They began a slow withdrawal that lasted for nearly a century until they eventually vanished completely. We know that they retreated into this system where they had constructed a massive ring world designed to house their entire civilization. They isolated themselves here for several millennia until an independent explorer chanced upon their system and spread its location to the rest of the galaxy. The news that the dreaded Cybrex had been found again prompted several neighboring powers to organize a massive military expedition, which bombarded the Cybrex ring world into rubble. Strangely, the Cybrex seem to have offered no resistance whatsoever. Fascinating. So, big gets for us. Unity gained a flat 10,000. Engineering gained about 2,000. Energy credits gained almost 8,000. And ends the Cybrex home system event chain. Fantastic. And we now have access to a runed ring world. I don't think we could do much with it because we have to research megastructure technologies that would allow us to do projects on that scale, infrastructure, and just the design and all that. It's just beyond our capabilities of our civilization because we're a bunch of technological Luddites. We're a bunch of priest-loving Unity folk. We love the Unity. A lot of stuff's popping up. Let's start with the simplest stuff first. I see because of our big Unity dump there, we just got a new tradition available, which is cool. But yeah, let's go to Maroon and Joan real quick. She got the cautious trait, which is cautious. It's related to military fleet effects. Ship weapon range plus 20%. Combat disengagement chance plus 5%. Okay, which makes it's helpful with all the corvettes she's in charge of. Each individual little ship as it gets damaged in combat that makes a decision as to whether to jump out or not, like one by one, rather than be destroyed utterly. So this just turns up the knobs a little bit, and they can fire at a longer range. So that's actually really handy. I don't know if it's well suited for the weapons I put on the Trident, quite honestly. Something we may consider in the weapon designer down the road. We'll see. How old is Maroon and Joan here? Hold on. I just want to see. Can I see how old? 83. Oh well. It's actually an important thing that we just looked at that. When you start the game, all of your leaders are 30s, 40s range. And now we are at the year 2244 in our game. So our leaders are getting old. That means that the bulk of our leaders, I think well over half we have even at this moment, are original leaders. And they're all going to be in their 80s at this point. They're going to start dying. Now, there's little technology you get here and there, pickups that will extend your leader's lifespan by 10 years here or there. You might be able to get them out to live to 90, 100, 110 years, but they are going to die off. So, at any rate, we saw what cautious was. We'll close this. We'll dismiss the new trait. And then let's just take a look at our leaders real quickly. We'll just sort them by officials. The Archprophetess is 84. Drowned Morgan is coming in. It's 64, which isn't bad. And Big Esmeralda is coming in at 83. Who is the heir apparent? Can I not? Right here. Drowned Morgan is the heir apparent. I believe that's what this little symbol means, I think. Or is that the Minister of State? Oh, how do I know who the next person is? The heir apparent. Oh, right here. Yeah, there we go. That's it. The crown. Imperial heir. So the good news is that Drowned Morgan is 20 years younger than Bad Luck Morgan. They're related, obviously. Morgan and Morgan. But, so, yeah. And then we won't get a new inheritor to the Imperial throne until Bad Luck Morgan passes on. Drowned Morgan will become the Emperor, Empress, and then at that point we'll get a new Imperial heir selected. Let's keep going here. Let's look at our commanders. 83, 78, 68. You know, one of the benefits to picking up commanders decade by decade, kind of like we've done, not really intentionally, but definitely something I've thought about in the past, is that you do have some stratification in their ages. So we won't lose all of our leaders at once. We will drop to some middle tier, the people in their 70s now, and the people in the 60s will follow up. And then if we jump to our scientists, Voidborn Mary, good old Voidborn, she's probably our best leader overall, is 85. Sailin' Ann is at 74. That's fantastic. Black William is at 64. And Red Tia, our newest scientist, is at 51. So we've got very good stratification there. As our leaders die off decade by decade, we're going to try and replace them and keep it feeding through. So a little bit of strategy. Just be warned that you can have a massive die-off all at once, and it can hit you really hard. Because some of these really advanced leaders have multiple traits, like good traits, and some of those multiple traits are trained up from level 1 to level 2 or something. When they disappear, or just the fact of just losing a level 5 leader versus bringing a new leader in at, here's our new recruitable leaders. They're all level 2. Functionally, I think, you know, it's kind of a mix. But yeah, in general, level 2 is where our leaders are at. Commanders are coming in at level 1. And officials are coming in at level 1. So actually, the reason our scientists are coming in at level 2 is one of the tradition picks we grabbed, or maybe one of our ascension perks or something like that. Let's jump in here. No. Huh. Okay. Well, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's probably under discovery. Yeah. There you go. Bottom option there. Scientist starting skill level +1. So why that matters is when we are trying to replace these really high level 4, level 5 leaders, if we mouse over, you can see that per level, their survey speed is at +10%. So that's a 50% bonus. Archaeological skill +5, astral rift skill +1, and as well as their governor effects. All that's multiplied by their skill level. So you swap out a level 5 leader with a level 1 or level 2 leader, you're losing a lot regardless of the traits you're losing. All right, I've beaten that in the ground. You understand. You get it, I think. Here we go. System discovered, the Cyberx Alpha. Yeah, I want to take a look at that. And this is where? Oh, this is actually good. This is Cyberx Alpha. It's right in the heart of our empire, right next to our capital. So, provided some Cyberx xenophobes, Terminators don't wake up and wipe out our capital, which I don't think they will. This is good. It's nearer to our home world, and it's well connected to Elysia there, to Rigel. So cool. You can see the megastructure emblem here within the hexagon is a pentagon. Pentagon, yeah, okay. And let's just click in here. Well, you could click on the thing, runed ring section. Obviously, we'll need the technology to repair it, which we don't have, and then we'll actually go into the system itself. There we go. And yeah, you can see there's a lot of debris. We'll zoom right in. You see the little sparkling, glittering pieces. That's meant to represent polished glass and ceramic metal surfaces that are rotated in space. The sunlight's shining off of them. So that's like actual ray tracing, I think they have on some of those pieces. Not everything's rotating, you see, but it gives it the nice glint. It's a great touch, graphically speaking. But yeah, this is the runed ring world. It is massive, and it actually comes in 4 segments. So I don't know if you can find a single runed ring world segment around a star. I don't know. I don't remember. But in this case, we've gotten the whole ring, but it is treated as 4 separate, we'll say, colonies or planets. So if you click into one, you'd be able to repair this ring segment independently of the other 3. And then once that's done, you can move populations on. You can get building slots, districts. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. So will we ever get there? I don't know. It's really science heavy to get to megastructural engineering, and we ain't so good at that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, Let's have we got 2 science ships here. I believe it's surveyed already. So let's have our constructor, the Bones of a Dead Star. Why can't I click that? Give me a second, folks. I am struggling to get my constructor to build a... There it is. Oh, wow. I just couldn't see where it was. Yeah, we're going to claim this right off the bat. 52 influence. I just want to get that into our control. It's kind of a big reward. So there may be other slightly more valuable systems at this point, but we're going to claim it. We're just going to get that little hole in the donut filled real quick. Okay, so that's that. Let's reassign our scientists before I forget, because we got 2 science ships in there, and I don't think there's anything for them to work on. So real quickly, let's dismiss one of them. I'm going to right-click. Yeah, there's nothing there for them to do. So, sorry. Zoom out. There are no other projects. Give me a second. Archaeology 1. Oh, should they go do Rigel? Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take the best science ship for archaeology and have them go start digging up the site at Rigel. Okay, boom. And then the other ship that has no orders, the Kugan, Amon, we will send them to survey systems in here? Sure. God dang it. So sorry, I keep deselecting right there. Survey systems. Yeah. We're running out of stuff for our scientists to do here pretty rapidly, folks, which is okay. That's the stage of the game we're in. And what else do we got? System surveyed at Dianthe. Very nice. That is actually a pretty decent system. A lot of minerals and a bit of science, considering how kind of cruddy some of these other systems are through here. I'll take it. And we do have a desert world there at the Uproth, potentially habitable planet. That could be useful to us. I'll take a planet. So we'll dismiss that one. We have an archaeological site event pending. Fantastic. It looks like an old Nintendo cartridge. Ancient facility. Ancient immunology research. Red Tia produced a partial translation for one of the data files discovered from the facility at Wegmore 7A. Lab 17 progress update. Research lead Gelibor. It's really funny that you translate like names, because names are just it's just sounds without meaning. It'd be really hard to translate names, I think, right? Because it's like, if you have like a cup or a container or just a cylinder shape can have meaning across multiple cultures or species, but someone's name, unless it has a meaning in of itself, like red sunset, right? That would be a name maybe in some civilization that has meaning, the color of light and the effect of a sun setting over the horizon of a rotating planet or something like that. But the idea of just like someone's name is like Mark, yeah, or Gelibor. How do you translate that? Okay, let's not worry about it anymore. But just think about it, because it doesn't make any sense. You couldn't translate names. You couldn't. The new prototype showed initial promise. Subjects' immune systems boosted millionfold, and all pathogens were eradicated. Oh, millionfold. Holy shit. Side effects persisted. Fatal mutations followed. No survivors. We'll try again. The universal macrophage is within our reach. I am sure of it. Research 665. Yeah, it's down one from the 666 we've been getting off of this site so far. Red Tia is as good as dead. As good as dead, I can guarantee you. They are not going to survive this, which kind of sucks, but I'm going to keep digging. Difficulty is only level 3, skill bonus 3. Very nice. No extra breakthrough chances, and their archaeology skill is coming in at a big fat +2 there, which I like. Okay, let's jump into the tradition pick first, and then we'll start looking at the Federation stuff, because we're going to want to dig in deep there. So, traditions available. We only have one obvious pick for right now, or one pick under the diplomacy tree. Diplomatic networking. The influence and prowess of our ambassadorial network is a source of great pride to the Fulu people. Embassies generate +3 unity each. I think we have 2 embassies now. No, maybe not. The Free Estwanians hate us, and these guys up here, the Kendogen, are idyllic pacifist, or so there's something they have where they're very insular, and it's not that they hate all outsiders, but they don't do like federations or trade deals or whatever. So it's very possible we don't have an embassy with them. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Long story short is that +3 embassy unity for embassies doesn't really help us. However, what can help us with people like the Kendogen and the Free Estwanians potentially, where we think we may not be able to get embassies, is this allows advanced diplomatic actions without an embassy. Yes, please. All right, we're going to click that in. We're going to take it, and we're going to have 2 new good options. I think both these are pretty sweet options coming up for us not too far out, in about 3 years of game time. So good, we'll get those. I've seen trust cap and trust cap growth, and over here I'm seeing diplomatic acceptance +5, and envoys have a chance of gaining favors. Why that matters is we gain these, and then we gain the cap off here. The finisher monthly federation experience +2, diplomatic weight +10. Yeah, this is some good stuff. Is we can go back into the contacts page, go talk to the Free Estwanians, go talk to the Kendogen, and get them into some trades and packs and whatnot that don't, because we can bypass the embassies thing altogether now. So maybe we can bring them along ultimately. We'll see. We're not going to check that right now. It's something we maybe will say for next episode if we think of it. But here we got 3 things up top. So one is losing Federation XP. That popped up instantly upon founding the Federation. So obviously it's saying that there's some work we need to do to maintain the health of our Federation. All right, so we'll dismiss that for now, and we'll work on it. Another thing that went into the red, by the way, as soon as our Federation popped over, which is again called the Space Friends Club, is energy dropped, food dropped, consumer goods dropped. It's possible there's some sort of tax base or some amount we're paying into the Federation. Question. I'm just surprised that these all just went down very quickly. One thing I want to look at is on Fula, we started with the unification. Yeah, we no longer have that. So that expired 20 years into the game. So sorry, we're like 24 years past that. But I was just noting, I was looking at an old playthrough, and I was realizing that I might not have expressed the fact that when you start with the prosperous unification origin story, it does go away after 20 years. It's a great origin, but you lose it, and then your whole system takes a big chunk down. Every job in your system loses 10% production and all that. So it's kind of a big hit. But we've already suffered that, and that's way in our past at this point. So cool. All right. What are these other 2 symbols? New Federation President. The Principality of Fu has been chosen as the new president of the Space Friends Club. That's cool. Probably because we have so much diplomatic power. I don't know how it's decided. It wasn't really explained in the lead up to forming the Federation how the presidency would be decided. So we might be able to dig into it when we look at the tabs. What else do we have? Form a Federation. Form Federation diplomatic response from the Talakiran hegemony. All right, we will dismiss both of these, and we will actually just click on the old Federations tab. Interesting. Yeah, not unlike the Galactic Senate tab. You can see the layout format is quite similar. We have the main Federation page here and 3 other sub tabs. So as I'm looking at this, I can see who the president currently is, the Principality of Fula. I guess that's not necessarily our empress. It's just saying that our species holds the seat of the presidency. I think that's how they're looking at it. I don't think our arch prophetess is actually the president of the Federation, if it matters in the fiction. We have a nice little, federated, union board here. Looks all cool. Cohesion. All right, we've got 2 symbols. Cohesion and representatives. Okay, so let's just break this down. Total cohesion is at a -35 right now. Monthly cohesion impact is -0.07. So a very small fraction of one, less than a tenth of one total. Principality of Fu, the Federation adds a +1. Rotation succession type is a -0.5. From members, 2 of them, a -0.5. From ethics, a -0.07. Diverse ethics, -0.15. So I'm guessing for each ethic that's different, it'll add an additional -0.07, I think. I mean, if I'm looking there, it won't let me mouse into it. I see from ethics is the -0.7, or sorry, 0.07, and then the diverse ethics has the number 1 in there in brackets, right? So you could have additional diverse ethics, which would make the cohesion weaker and weaker and weaker. So when we bring in the Kendogen or the Free Estwanians, we're going to get a myriad of ethics. So depending on how hard that is to manage, you may want to consider only federating with other civilizations that all share one common ethic, right? Or at least a common ethic with one of the other civilizations. So right now we have 2 civilizations, each with 2 ethics, and we match on one of them. But I'm guessing there's one each that we're missing, and that's how you're getting that -0.15. I think that's twice the 0.7, I think. XP generated, from cohesion, -3.51. So here's some descriptions. Cohesion symbolizes how unified our federation is and ranges from -100 to +100. Okay, so it's a pretty defined scale that represents 200 or 201 points. I don't know if 0 is a possible point on there or not, but okay. It's not too massive a scale. Negative impacts are caused by the number of different ethics. Opposing ethics have a worse impact. Temporary negative impacts are caused by members joining and leaving. Interesting. So anytime the makeup of the Federation changes, you're going to have a little seismic shifting in the stability of the Federation. So adding willy-nilly or dismissing people willy-nilly can destabilize the whole Federation, which kind of is a good fiction. So oftentimes in the stories, fantasy or science fiction stories, you have some event out of the control of the heroes or the protagonists kicks off, like a eminent supernova or supernova that has happened, or some powerful faction leaving the local federation, and now space is falling into anarchy. So yeah, the Foundation series deals with a lot of that. The Fall of Trantor is about powerful blocks leaving and weakening the Empire? The Empire, yeah, it's Empire. One of the books is called Empire, so it's definitely Empire. Okay. Add officials to boost monthly cohesion? Ooh. We can do that. Yeah, we can get more officials. And this is also an additional need for officials. Usually your officials are like your arch-prophetess, and maybe you have someone being the governor of a sector or governor of a planet. You're like, oh, I don't know what else to do with them. They're officials. They're bureaucrats. They're useless. But in this case, this game likes to flirt with the fiction that bureaucrats have a usefulness, which is cool. It's science fiction. It's fantasy. We can all pretend. Now, I'm guessing that not only can we add representatives, but that the other folks, the Talacurans, the aliens, can also add officials, I'm supposing. But as I look at this, total representatives are a big 0. Cohesion impact, obviously 0. Members not contributing, both the Principality of Fula and the Talacuran hegemony. It's saying, yeah, no one is put in representatives. Representatives are officials from members within the Federation. They boost Federation cohesion by working hard to keep our Federation united. So yeah, they're doing the job of fixing problems and bandaging over stuff and making a direction for the future. So I guess it's useful. All right. I'll concede that people working hard for the benefit of everyone can occasionally be a good thing. But authoritarianism, it sure makes things easier. It really does, folks. It's just, I'm not saying it fixes problems, but it just makes it a lot easier for some people. And here we go. Level 1. We have an experience chart here. We are currently at level 1. We're at -0 of 1,200 experience. Clearly at 1,200, we'll go to level 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do we want to read through all these right now? No. Let's read through level 1 and level 2 just to see what's immediately relevant to us, okay? So here's the level 1 Galactic Union. Members of this Federation are united in readiness to cooperate. Together, they will deal with whatever problems may arise. Diverse ethics impose a 50% smaller penalty to Federation cohesion. Very cool. Can you lose your level 1? I don't know. I don't know what role cohesion would play if you didn't have the 50% reduction and you weren't in a Federation, so I'm not 100% sure. This one thing with Stellaris is there are so many terms or variables that they've sprinkled around the game and all these different panels with all these unique names that when they sit there and say, yeah, you get a 50% reduction to your Federation cohesion penalty, and I'm just like going, does that exist anywhere else? Does cohesion exist anywhere outside of a Federation? I don't think so, but I can't keep track of the hundreds of variables in the game. So, yeah. Okay. But the one question, though, is we start at level 1 with this. Can we lose it? I guess that's what I'm really asking. It's like, is there a way I can lose that 50% reduction? Like, where's south of the North Pole? I don't know. Does it exist? Can it exist? Question. All right. If we get to level 2, though, what we're going to get is Officer Exchange, which is the amount members contribute toward the Federation naval capacity counts for plus 25% more. Okay. Welcoming Nature. New members impose a 50% smaller cohesion penalty to the Federation. Okay, I'm guessing that stacks with Galactic Union so that as you're bringing people in, you have less seismic instability within the Federation. So it gets easier to hold the rest together. Federal Envoy, available Envoy +1. Oh, that's cool. I'm guessing all civilizations in the Federation get 1 additional envoy slot, which allows them to do more diplomacy or spying, which is good. So we're not going to read over the rest of these now. We'll get to them as the game progresses. But what I'm seeing is that this mechanic is meant to represent the strength, the longevity, the durability of the Federation. By gaining experience points, it represents the trials the Federation has already survived, the trials and tribulations they've gotten through. And so I'm guessing these things will keep stacking to make it more and more durable, able to survive harsher and harsher things, as well as giving other small bonuses. That's really cool. One question I have right off the bat is, how do I earn experience and what is it? All right, so level 1, next level is 2. We're at 0 of the 1,200. Based on the minus 35.1 cohesion, our Federation gains minus 3.51 XP every month. Oh. Okay, so cohesion maps to XP gains on a 10-to-1 ratio. Yes? Right? Cohesion is measured up here. Cohesion is on the scale of -100 to 100. That's the cohesion. Just bear with me. And we get 1/10 of the cohesion each month in XP. But in this case, unfortunately, we're losing XP. Fortunately, it seems like we might ground out at -0. Hopefully, we can't go lower. But it means if we want to push up towards 1,200, we want to push our cohesion up towards 100. Let's just do a quick thought experiment. If we can get the cohesion maxed out at positive 100, we'll get 1/10 of that as XP each month. That would be 10 per month. You divide 1,200 by 10, that's 120 months. That is 10 years, 1 decade with maximum cohesion just to get the level 2. I'm pointing that out because what that means is that level by level appears to be a multi-decadal project. So if you want to get, unless there's some things in there that get you experience faster, which there may be, To get to level 5 right now, I'm imagining the shortest possible way you could do that would be 50 years, probably much longer. 100 years, 70 years. I don't know. We're going to find out. It really depends also if you can see the XP does seem to multiply. 1200, 3600, 84. So, well, obviously, that's a 3 times over 1200. That is a 2 point... two and a quarter times more. Sorry, I'm brain fogging on that one. I cannot do that. There's the 72. This is 8. This is the 4. 16. Oh yeah, that's some messy math. It's 2 and some. It's weird that they just put it in some middle. Just use whole numbers, guys. Come on. What are we doing here? It's 2 times more. It's 3 times more. It's 4 times more. He's just like, it's like, no, we did the calculations. It needs to be 8,400 more XP. Makes total sense. Okay, and then finally, level 5, 18,000. At least it's a nice, round, easy to remember number. Which is roughly a little more than twice that one. Okay, all right, I don't care. Great progressions, guys. We can select a leader. Sure, we'll do that in just a second. And let's just look over here. This is when we formed. Members of this Federation are united in readiness to cooperate. Together, they will deal with whatever problems may arise. Federation modifiers. Yeah, that's this guy. Yes? Yeah? Okay. Federation centralization. Minimal. I don't even know what that would mean. Federation centralization. Minimal. Maybe that is if one member of the Federation draws more and more power to themselves, thus making it a lot less of a cooperative federation and more of like what Senator Palpatine did in the Galactic Empire Council thing on Coruscant or whatever. I'm not really a huge Star Wars fan anymore, to be quite honest, with what they've done with they've made some really bad products. They made some great products and they made some really bad products. And I just am so sick of one of the most valuable science fiction brands ever, arguably the most valuable science fiction brand ever, making garbage when they have unlimited budgets. And like people writing scripts and directors making like some of these movies and shows, and you're just going like, did your mom tell you did this good? Because they're the only person who would tell you that. And that there's no one else in this massive corporation that just comes in and says, oh, this is slop. This isn't appropriate. Yeah. Okay, that's enough about Star Wars. Minimal versus maximal centralization. How can that change around? I would guess it would be things like the economy, diplomatic weight from economy gets so out of control, like where we have 5,000 and Talakarians have 1,000, and we're just dwarfing them economically speaking, potentially. Or over here under representatives, we put 3 representatives in and no one else puts any in. And so all the work and all the muscle of the Federation would be centered on us. I would imagine that's a bad thing for the health of the Federation. Maybe it's a good thing for you if you're the one who has amassed all the control to yourself. Maybe it's really cool, and you can be Palpatine and be like, yeah, we win. Okay, let's go to select a leader. Sure. All right. Drown Morgan's currently our Minister of State. I want them to keep doing that. How about Big Esmeralda is an official? Ooh, representing our interests on the Galactic Council, which we don't want to give that up. We need a Minister of State. What this means is that we need another official. Now, I can hire an additional official going over our cap, which is going to eat into our unity. It essentially drives up the cost on all unity for having a leader. Let's do it, and we'll just see what the bad effect is. Sorry, I'm slouching. Sinking in my chair here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's deliberately go over the cap and just examine what going over the cap means and what kind of detriments it is to your, should be unity, I think. So, sure. These are the officials we have available. Let's just mouse over real quick. Planetary sector governor traits. Galactic community emissary effect. Should be great for up there. Oh god, that is actually really good. Hold on. Big Esmeralda. Does Big Esmeralda have any? Oh, they don't. They don't have any Galactic Counselor effects. Because at the time, I think we'd postulated that because the Galactic Council had just formed, we had not been exposed to the traits for Galactic Council hadn't been generated yet until the Galactic Council existed. Maybe we certainly didn't see any leaders with the Galactic Council trait, but now we do. So we could grab Voidborn Avadilla for the focus, the greater good, move them into the Galactic Council, and then take Big Esmeralda and shift her over into the Federation. But what I want to see if there's any traits for Federation. Maybe not yet, but maybe they will pop up. So real quickly, adaptable is a leader trait. Here we go, Galactic Reform. So this is a Galactic Community Emissary effect as well. And then finally down here is Resilient. Okay, so I think we have two good options for hiring, either Voidborn Avadilla or Slippery James. I want to then slot them into the Galactic Council and then, yeah, and do the switcheroo. So which of these is better for us? Voting strength on the greater good resolution is plus 100%. When you support a resolution that passes in this category, chance to gain one favor with the proposing empire, plus 20%. Okay, do we like the greater good? We're going to want to look at that real quick. I know some of those pathways don't really benefit us. Like some of them will reduce your diplomatic weight based off of like economy. It's like, no, we don't want that, you know. So hold on, what's the other one here? Galactic community effects. This is focused galactic reforms. Voting strength on galactic market resolution plus 100%. Voting strength on galactic reforms, crisis declaration, change galactic focus. Okay, this one we want because we are specifically working on the galactic market. We know that. We've proposed that. But let's just see the greater good real quick. Let's just take a look. I think it's crap. I don't think we want it. Well, no, we need the category here. Here we go. Right, it should be the category, the greater good. No. There it is. Okay, here we go. Politics and culture. Let's open this up. Weak support across the board in all of these. Diplomatic weight from Pops. Diplomatic weight from Pops and worker happiness. Oh. No kidding. So this would be the most populous empire would want to go down this route. I know we're hovering around that, but I think it's a pretty tight race on population. So long story short, we don't want to go down the greater goods route. So let's close that down. Let's hire Slippery James to work on that galactic market resolution, as well as there's several resolutions they give a big bonus to. So in my opinion, those four are much better than the focus on the greater good. So let's hire them. They're also 39 years old, which means they'll live for a long time. As we've talked about, we're probably going to have a leader pass away in a few years, which could help us with the political leader problem. We'll see. Recruiting this leader will exceed your leader cap, increasing upkeep costs and reducing experience gains for all your leaders. 100 monthly upkeep plus 2, higher anyway. Yeah, we're going to do it. So it gave us the warning, point blank. It told us what would happen if we did this. So is this a smart choice? Probably not. But we're just seeing, we're messing around. We're poking the machine to see what happens in the machine. Let's make our switcheroos though real quickly. So let's go up to our Senate, who is currently in recess. Community delegate. How do I assign a new one? Yeah, here we go. Slippery James is going to be our new delegate. Boom. That change was made pretty easily. Obviously, we're going to lose a little bit because they're only a level 1. You can see there, Slippery James coming to level 1. It's all right. Close that down. And then they're unemployed is what that means. Idle leader acquired. Let's jump over to our Federation. Select the leader. And who is unemployed? Big Esmeralda. All right, she's age 83, but her level 3 experience should do pretty good in that position. And we can see here it's made that change. Cohesion impact 3.0. Fantastic. That still doesn't fully correct. Oh, wow. XP generated from cohesion. So we're going to run the clock for it is what we need to do, because we haven't run the clock at all. I apologize. Development focus. Check the Empire focus tab. Okay. We're going to look at that in just a moment here, folks. Hold on. Let's finish running this round of the month. Boom. There we go. Let's jump back into the Galactic Bajingi. Okay. Our total cohesion is still at negative 32, but we are moving it positive now by 2.92. So that negative 32 total cohesion is going to move towards 0. Once it hits 0, it'll start moving into positive territory. Once it gets to positive 10 or more, we will gain our first experience point. Remember, you take cohesion, divide by 10, that gives you experience. I'm pretty sure you can lose experience, though. Like, so say we build up 18 experience points over the next year or whatever, and then our cohesion drops. Maybe we lose one of our representatives and we lose the +3 to cohesion on a monthly basis, and that goes negative. I could see XP starting to suck away, and we could lose it back down to 0, potentially. So you've got to baby the Federation along the entire time. I do know, though, that with the build we're doing, being pacifist, diplomatic tradition, Galactic Community Federation, we want to keep focusing in now on officials, on envoys, pushing for diplomacy with everything we've got. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so we've gotten this first page handled pretty well. We're 40 minutes in, but we're moving in the right direction, and this will start yielding us EXP here. Fantastic. Let's go to members. Okay, this is just a summation screen. It looks like nothing too tricky. What is important on here is because of the transparency of being in a federation with other people, it lets you get some really quick and easy insight into the people in your Space Friends Club. So economy, very straightforward on the power, fleet, and technology. It is actually not necessarily a bad thing that we're so close to the Talacuran, but because they're in the lead on that, even though we're much stronger on fleet and economy, it at least keeps the balance of power a little more in parity because they lead in one of the categories, even though it's a very small amount. So I think the way the math works, it just keeps everyone maybe a little happier. It's like, greasing the gears of this big machine called the Federation. Yeah, we'll see. Opinion of them of us is +499. That's very good. We currently have excellent relations at the +943. We were able to see that through the contacts as well. We could see the relation. That's the it goes like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, right? That scale. So we're darn near maxing that. Well, maybe it goes up to like 1,500. It might go a lot higher, but we're in good territory. Okay. What else we got here? What is that? Diplomatic weight? Yeah. Okay. We're a full 50% higher on diplomatic weight than them. I mean, pretty much exactly 50% more, which is good. That's what we want. And what is this one? Is that envoys? Envoys? What is it? Ah, crap. I don't know what the little guy with the flag is. Where's the tooltip? What? Hold on. Oh, crud. It's envoys. It's envoys. Okay. Sorry. I'm just like, tooltip. What it's saying is that we have 3 envoys and they have 0 envoys? That doesn't make any sense. Does it mean our 3 envoys are working with the Talacuran? I don't even... Oh, here, we can mouse up here. This will tell us. Here we go. So I'm mousing at the very top right there. You can see that. Here's our envoy breakdown. We have 4 of them. 3 of them are busy improving relations. 2 with the Talacuran, 1 with the Kendojin. Twice Hang Lawrence is doing nothing, although we should find them a task to do here. So I'm guessing that this 3 represents envoys involved in either they have a job at all or involved directly in diplomacy. Because it's counting the people that are working with the Kendogen, even though the Kendogen are in the Federation. So it's not like this number represents only envoys working within the Federation. It's just envoys doing anything? Question? What if they're spying? Would it count them? Does spying count towards that? Or only trying to improve relations? Question. They aren't telling us because they're giving us 0 tooltips here. 0 context. Thanks, guys. That's totally what we want. We love the no context. Sorry, I'm getting heated because it's a tooltip. Just give me a tooltip. And then here we go, ethics. Why does this matter? You can see here that we have no matching ethics. Oh, what? Oh, I thought these guys had one thing in common with us. They don't. The Talakiran are fanatic authoritarian xenophiles. Obviously, the fact that they're xenophiles means that they want to interact with other people. They've always been quite friendly to us. I guess that's a good thing. We, of course, are fanatic spiritualists and pacifists, but we share no ethics in common. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing. Because when we give the breakdown here from diverse ethics 1. Okay, we're just not getting a good explanation of it. It's just not fleshed out, right? Like it's saying some numbers and giving us little like decimal point pluses and minuses, but it's not telling us what does one ethics mean when we have 2 ethics and none of our ethics matched. For some reason, I thought one of our ethics matched up was docking. It's not. They're completely different. Yet somehow it only counts as diverse ethics 1. I don't know how I'm supposed to parse that or make meaning of it. I could really use some tooltips that would explain that. Okay, I'm bitching. So that's everything here, though. I think that's everything of pertinence on the Federation members tab. Let's go to the fleets tab. Oh, wow. Okay. Members of the Federation are united in readiness and cooperation. Together, they will deal with whatever problems may arise. Federation ship designer? Oh my gosh. This looks very interesting. I'm wondering if it's a matter of that we can choose to donate ships to a Federation fleet, like to make a Federation navy separate from our own, we'll say nationalistic navies, or if we actually have to go into the Federation ship designer, design the ships, and then how do you make them? I'm gonna close that for now. I don't think we'll have enough time to dig into that. I'm not a big ship design person anyway, but we'll figure it out. Oh, here we go. Federation ship designer. Federation fleets are special fleets that are controlled by the Federation president. Oh, that would be us. That's us. They are designed in the Federation ship designer and can use any technology available to any member of the Federation. Federation fleets cost no upkeep but cannot exceed the Federation Navy capacity, which each member contributes at least 0% of their own Navy capacity. So it's not free Navy. I mean, it is free Navy. But if you don't put anything and no one else puts anything, it's no Navy. But I like the technology sharing thing. We're going to put a pin in that. In that. That sounds very interesting. Okay, and then finally we have laws. Oh my gosh, folks. This is a whole nother level here. Holy crap. Federation centralization, 5 levels. Wow. I see these are locks. I see locks on here. So right now, this is giving us a good breakdown. Centralization, fleet contribution, succession type, succession term. Can subjects join? Can subjects join? Interesting. Vote weight, war declaration, invite members, kick members, free migration, separate treaties. Okay, let's start at the top. We'll work through. It looks like this whole episode is going to be Federations. So for anyone who's not playing Federations, it's phooey. You're not doing the game right. I'm sorry. This is clearly the coolest thing. This is actually pretty cool. So here's the centralization. The Federation's influence over its members is kept to a minimum. Oh, okay. Unlocks the following laws. Fleet contribution, none. Which, I see. Some of these laws are locked away. You can't access them. So by choosing, okay, I gotcha. All right. Succession rotation, or succession type is a rotation basis, so everyone will take a turn. That is not unlike how some of the aspects of the United Nations of Earth work. Although the permanent council, which is China, Russia, the United States, France, and Britain, is completely unfair and arbitrary. I don't think anyone ever voted on that. We just all came with our big guns and we're like, hey, we got nukes. We're in charge now. And that's actually how our real United Nation works. It's not good. It's not good. Does it make sense? Is it right? I don't think so. Seeing what's going on between Ukraine and Russia right now, and how that massive nuclear arsenal Russia has, it doesn't mean dick in that conflict. I would say that the United Nations could probably use a little modernization. I think it's a good thing. I think people should work together diplomatically and try and talk things out, and do things for the betterment of everyone. So I think that it's a very noble idea. But yeah, the permanent seats, because of the fallout of World War II, everyone from World War II is gone. Like, I'm not literally, but functionally. We should definitely rewrite how the UN works, and it should be more egalitarian, I think is the word I'm looking for. Okay. Let's see. It's relevant to federations. It's relevant. Okay, here we go. So yes, rotation. Everyone's going to take a turn as the president. Succession terms of 10, 20, 30, 40 years or status change are all unlocked. All those options, which are all these, are available to us. Can subjects join? No. By subjects, I believe they mean vassals. Can vassal states join the Federation? No. Okay. Vote weight equal. Oh. Verse based off of your diplomatic power, which would be unequal. Interesting. War declaration, unanimous vote versus, I'm guessing a majority vote would carry it versus unanimous. Okay. Invite member, unanimous vote versus, again, a majority vote. Kick members, majority vote, which makes sense because if there's 3 members, you're trying to boot one of them, they'll never vote to get themselves booted, so you can't have unanimous. That's interesting. But then that's not an option. Is it? If you can't have unanimous vote, then what's the other option? Then what is the other option? You can't kick anyone? That would be the only other option. Okay. Free migration, disabled. Interesting. We've done pretty well between us and the Talaxian. We've already have a migration border. So that being disabled for us doesn't exactly make sense because we're already pretty porous borders with our people, but sure. And then separate treaties allowed, which is I think a good idea, but it doesn't really benefit us because we can't really seem to make treaties or pacts or agreements with the Kendogen because of their inward perfection thing, and the Free Estonians hate our guts. So, interesting. In this very small galaxy we've made, some of these rules don't really impact us and go either way. So some of these we're completely neutral to, is what I'm saying. This level of centralization will add 10 to the base level of intel provided by this Federation type, setting it to a maximum of 70. Currently, active law. Some laws are locked and require increasing the centralization to unlock them. The Federation must first level up to gain access to a higher centralization. Be cautious, though, as the centralization is increased, cohesion will suffer. Interesting. So, We can't unlock these levels until we literally level up. But as we do level up, these will give us access to different laws. Different sets down here in this chart will open or close and give us different options. Okay, so I think we got a pretty good grasp of it. Level 2 in particular unlocks the following laws. Fleet contribution low, meaning that it would be required for people to start contributing fleet power. Right now, it's not a requirement. That you could choose to, but it's not a requirement. Okay. Monthly Federation cohesion would be at a -1 from that. Requirement, level 2. Opposition, the Talakiran are opposed to that at a -72, which I don't know how much that is. I guess they don't like it. Otherwise, here's the fleet contribution set to none. We can't even choose low. Low, medium, high, completely locked out. Succession type is rotation, or you could go strongest. The thing about that strongest is once you click that, it's probably never going to go back. As the game progresses, usually the gaps grow between civilization as the game progresses. Yeah, it's probably true. I mean, if we clicked on strongest, I don't think we would ever lose control of the Federation, personally. Well, it would be good for us. But yeah, the Talakiran wouldn't like it. Requires centralization to be high or higher. So level 4. Okay. Yeah, that's a power grab. Yeah, that's definitely Emperor Palpatine. I mean, Senator Palpatine. Duh. Succession term. Interesting. Every 20 years. And we could edit it. So we have the option to change it to 10, 20, 30, or 40. Interestingly, the Talakiran have a similar level of negative desire for any of the others. Okay. Did anyone take our vote? No one asked me. It's just 20 years is fine. I don't care. We're playing a pretty short game, so that's a pretty good chunk of the horizon of the future of the game. Can subjects join? No. Can you just click it? No, I can't toggle it, right? I'm guessing you have to actually have another box here, darkened or grayed out, to be able to switch it. So weight vote is equal, can't edit it. Unanimous vote, can't edit. So all these are simply locked in, no decisions to make. So that's it. We got through everything in the Federation there for now. Let's take a quick look at what the cost of being over on our leader cap is. I'm just watching our monthly unities at a 307. Oh, it went up a little bit. Interesting. Here, let's mouse in here. Can we see this? Consumed down in here. Other bumper. Yeah, there we go. Leaders are taking up 66.66. Nice amount of unity right now. Huh. Okay, let's go into our leaders tab and let's just mouse over any of our. Where's our cost coming here? Upkeep 10%. I could have sworn because we were over on our cap, it was going to drive up the cost of everything. I mean, maybe it did, and I'm just not see. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's fascinating. Check this out, folks. So, Big Esmeralda and Slippery James have a unity cost per month. The over official cap is adding a plus 33% to their cost. However, Drowned Morgan and Bad Luck Morgan don't, because they are the imperial government. Yes. Because they are the imperial ruler and the heir apparent. So they don't cost us. Interesting. Oh, wow. Is that true? Like, if you do a democracy, does the president of your democracy not cost you unity? Or is this a small little bonus buff when you're playing an Imperium that your leader and your heir don't, although you benefit from their leadership, they don't cost you unity? So that's subtle. I wonder if that's true. Now I'll have to go open another game later and see if a president costs unity or not. Huh. Okay. Well, at the very least, your heir is an extra leader. Because even if in democracy your president doesn't cost you unity, they're only one person. There is no heir apparent in a democracy. So in this case, we get at least one free leader, if not two. All right. But yeah, otherwise, it's a big hit. Yeah, it's a chunk. It's a chunk there. Considering we have 7, 8, 9 leaders that we're paying costs on. It's probably a couple of unity per the 9. So yeah, 18, 19, 20 unity in that range. I would just guess off the top of my head. So it's a hit. Fortunately, we're really good at making unity. What else did it hit though? It hits their experience gains. So if let's just click on one of our commanders here, right here. I don't see the hit. Experience gain rates. Education campaign, which is one of our edicts, is giving us a 10% bonus. Polytechnic education is giving us a +10, and adaptable is giving us a +20. That's something Bad Luck Lawrence has. He is adaptable, which is this chameleon here. Yeah. Okay. That being said, I really thought it was going to hit our leader experience gains. I could have sworn it said that. I'm not complaining if that's a bug Paradox didn't fix. Okay. I won't have a penalty to my experience gains. Yeah. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I misread it, but I really thought we were going to get a hit to it. But I don't see it demonstrated here. Let's check Slippery Beard real quick. Just double check. Yeah. They seem fine. All right. Might as well jump into government here. We're about done for today. Let's just jump to our policies and edicts. I want to make sure everything's turned on. I know we didn't really progress the game at all. And yes, everything is on. We're rocking. We've got plenty of overhead on our edicts here. We're in good shape. Where are our strategic resources sitting at? We're still generating a positive +3 exotic gas surplus per month. That's good. We want to have a lot of padding in there. Not only to make sure we can keep our clinics running in the event something would happen to some of our resources, but also in case we ever did need to turn on these two for warfare. Sublight speed bonuses and shield hit point bonuses. Those would burn through essentially 2 a month. It can get more expensive as the game progresses. So we're sitting very good with our edicts. That's nice. Is there anything else we can do? We have an up-down vote going. Senate is now in session. The Senate floor is in session. The Galactic community is now voting on a new resolution to decide if it will become galactic law. We'll close that. Let's just take one last look in here. Senate floor. Here we go, folks. This will be it for today. I know there was no action. We literally just got through 2 months, but we covered the vast majority of what it is to do with Federation. It's a very powerful mechanic in the game. It's also very nice that it's not locked behind DLC. I think initially Federations was a DLC that allowed Federations, but it was such a useful and fun aspect of the game that I'm pretty sure Paradox took that mechanic out of that DLC and lets you have it in the vanilla version. It's so integral to playing a galactic expansion. It's so important to the fiction of franchises like Star Wars and like Star Trek that they let us all have it. I'm pretty sure. I don't think Federations were in the original game back 7-8 years ago. At any rate, last thing we're going to look at today is this is the queue over here, but the one with the most support was Form the Galactic Market. Now, if you recall, 2 months ago, at the beginning of this episode today, in real time, Form the Galactic Market was down here at number 3. It was sitting at around 1,200 support and wasn't going to be gotten to. Up next would have been the regulatory facilitation. However, we switched out our delegate to Slippery James, who gives us a massive plus 100% voting strength on galactic market resolutions. I didn't know it was going to do that. I mean, I didn't think about it. I just did it, and it worked out in our favor because we want the galactic market. Like we literally put that forward ourselves. I was like, I want the galactic market. So it's going to pass. It's going to pass massively. 2,693 in favor, 479 opposing. Who's opposing? Who are these? The Kendrian dogs. Oh, we will crush you on Earth. No, I mean, namaste, my friends. We are all at peace here. All right, well, it's gonna pass. If I run the clock forward, when do they vote? Oh, it's just in session until that long.
Construction complete.
Now, this is one thing I don't understand. When the Senate's out of session, the Senate's in session, so it's a few years on, a few years off, right? I don't know exactly what it is. 1,500 days, I don't care. But is the only thing they're going to vote on in this session this law, giving you time to call in favors and adjust things and change your leaders and whatnot, your representatives, to try and shift this graph here to win or lose, right? I could see it take a couple years to do that. But when this session is over, they're going to cast a vote, and then that's it. They will not get to any of these proposals until future sessions. Yeah, and this kind of leads into what I was saying last episode about essentially filibustering proposals that you don't want to get handled, that you don't have the political weight to sway the way you want. If you can go into the resolutions, find a resolution with a good moderate amount of support that doesn't hurt you, you can propose it, spending a little bit of your influence to add to the stack over here, pushing down potentially an unfavorable proposal that would really hurt you. You would always keep shoving that down with more popular proposals that simply maybe work a little bit better for you or neutrals you completely, but it keeps the one that would really hurt you from being voted on ever. Filibustering, that is a thing apparently you can do in the game. So that's pretty sweet. I think that's enough for today, folks. That's going to run, though. It looks like it's going to go the way we want, and then that'll open up the bid for the Home of the Galactic Market, which we would want to try and win. I'm not exactly sure how you try and win it. It's a decision you make, but we'll look into it. I would like to see if there's a way to influence it to get it, because you do get a pretty nice bonus if the Galactic Market is seated within on one of your planets. So hopefully next session we can look at that. Long enough. We will deal with the technology and whatever else next session. If you watched, thank you so much. I hope you learned something. I know I did. Until next time, folks.